your concerns about the new Toyota Tundra. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive FST. You know, unless you live under a rock, assuming you're a truck or a Toyota Tundra enthusiast, you've probably seen the leaked pictures of the redesigned Toyota Tundra. And I've got to say, from the feedback that I've seen, both across the web, across the platforms, on my own channel, it's not been well received. Almost everybody, there's that one or two, almost everybody does not like this truck. And I'm in that group. I don't like it. I think it's horrid. I don't know what Toyota is thinking. But there are a couple of other concerns. Let's say that you are one of the few that like it, or you can get past its horrid looks and its hodgepodged interior. What about these two things? First of all, the suspension. You know, I'm out here and I'm cruising around in my 2021 Tundra, the last of the best in my opinion, and I marvel at how smooth it is, how comfortable the ride is, how it effortlessly goes over bumps and stuff. It's so smooth. And how it handles. It does a straight line, no pulling or weirdness either way. It handles well. It just feels really, really good. And I've mentioned before how this truck to me feels like it's smaller than it is. Your perspective when you're driving it down the road. Did you notice the longer hood on this new Toyota Tundra? It's going to completely change the dynamics of how it feels when you drive it. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference or not, but it's going to be very interesting to see. Now, getting to the suspension, I mentioned how comfortable this truck rides. They're putting a new suspension in this truck. What's it going to be like? You know, since they've, in essence, botched the looks of the truck, I'm seriously starting to wonder if they've botched the suspension of it as well. Is it going to be as smooth as this truck? Is it going to be as comfortable as this truck? I mean, even if you can get past the, my opinion, horrid looks of it, it's still got to feel good when you drive it, doesn't it? I mean, if you get in it and it rides horribly and it doesn't feel good, I can't believe it's something that you would just overlook and go, yeah, it's a Toyota. I'll buy it anyway. Not for me. If I get in that truck and it feels like a Chevy, a Ford F-150, I wouldn't be happy about that. If the bed articulates all over the place when you go over, let's say, railroad tracks like we're going to do here in just a second, that wouldn't be good for me. Have you ever felt the rear end of your truck jump? If it does that, that's a huge negative. But we don't know yet. We don't know what they're going to do, just like we don't know for sure that these leaked photos are the actual truck. I've been leaning towards and hoping that the photos that have been posted up are mules, if you will. Trucks that Toyota has built, but not quite polished, not quite finished, if you will, not quite perfected. Given to people to go out and drive around as test mules, so they can see how the truck does, how it feels, if there's anything they need to tweak before they do the final release. That's what I'm hoping these trucks are. Now, the second concern I have is the technology in the truck, particularly that great big screen that you've seen. Now, don't get me wrong, I love that great big screen. I don't love how they've got it integrated into the dash. I think it looks like they just made some slots on the edge of the little trim panels and kind of jammed it in there. That's kind of what it looks like to me. So I'm really not digging that, but I love the size. But the big but, I guess, when it comes to that new screen is, what is it gonna do? I mean, in essence, is it just a bigger screen with what we really have? Or is it gonna have more capability, more information in it, more stuff that you can actually utilize? And I would say that I kind of liken it to the Tesla screen. If you've ever had any experience or seen what the Tesla screen is, It is awesome. Has all kinds of readouts and things in it. Has a very, very crisp image for the navigation system. You can see buildings, you can see the roads. I mean, it is awesome, spot on. Did Toyota take the time to do that with this screen, or did they just blow up what we already have? What about the clarity of it? It's gotta be cutting edge. It's gotta be like a high def screen, right? I mean, when you throw something that big and that awkward in the truck, it has to have some redeeming traits. And part of that is clarity. It's got to be very, very clear. It has to have all of the capability that you would expect in something that big, not just bigger numbers when you're looking at satellite or radio stations. How easy is it going to be to use? You know, I've used the Ford Intune system a while back when I had a couple of F-150s, and I've got to say, it was horrible. Very difficult to learn how to use. I don't think I ever did learn how to use it. And just horrible all around. So I hope that whatever they've created is at least going to be intuitive for the user. Now, there has been rumor that they're going to put the same system in that truck, their new system, that you can kind of talk to, have more of a human conversation with, as opposed to firing off just words for it to recognize, like temperature, weather. You know, you can actually talk to it. Now that would be cool, again, if it works seamlessly and it's not awkward. I'm a little concerned about that because it is a new system, and you know, when they come out with new things like that, they tend to be hiccupy or not as smooth as they should be. I want to be able to have a conversation with it. I mean, can you imagine being on a long distance trip, keep your eyes on the road, and you can sit and have a conversation with your truck? Wouldn't that be cool? And no, I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe in the next lifetime, but probably not in mine. Who knows? We shall see. So anyway, those are just a couple of concerns, more concerns, I guess, that I have after seeing this new Toyota Tundra, that maybe they're going to skimp or let us down on the suspension and the capabilities of the technology, particularly that big screen. Who knows? It's going to be very interesting to see. Again, I hope the truck that we've seen is just a test mule, and the real thing is going to be more polished, and everything inside is going to be more integrated. We shall see. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you have any confidence in Toyota's ability or desire to provide us with at least an equivalent ride-wise suspension and a system that we can actually use without having to have a doctorate in information technology? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay curious out there.